everyone, I really hope the jumper video was useful for you in practicing your kinetic letters at home. This time I'm going to do the Abracadabra family. In reception we finished the jumper family and we're just starting the Abracadabra this week. So in this story, Bounce and Skip have a party and meet a magician and do some magic tricks, hence the name Abracadabra. But it's quite a long story and we read it in small parts, so I won't read you the whole thing now. I'll just go through the letter formation for you. So all the letters in this family are skip. So they start at the scared monkey branch. So we don't need Bounce for this one. We just need skip. They're all scared monkey. And they all start with their base letter of C, or a K, as we'd say in reception. So basically, if you can do K, you can do all the other letters. It's really, really important. So that one is quite simply pull around, push along the ground. And it's really important that children stick to that scared monkey height. For those older children's parents who may be watching, that's how we differentiate between a capital K and a lowercase k, because obviously they look the same. So when I was in year 2, I used to say to the children, if you do a letter in between the brave monkey's branch and the scared monkey's branch, so your capital letter isn't touching that top line, I'm going to assume that you haven't used a capital letter, so I'm going to underline that and you're going to need to change that in your next steps. So it's really important that they make a really clear scared monkey or a really clear brave monkey if it's going to be a capital letter. So if you can do that, you can do all the rest. Now the O, pull around, on round, and push that little line across. Now that little line across becomes quite tricky. Although O is normally a very easy letter to form, it's for joining, so it's getting them into a joining habit straight away. However, that's not how it looks in books, so it's not natural for them, and you quite often might see lines coming across here, or actually today we've had letters going up here so they look like apples. So it's really important that it's not a flick, it's a push across. So we've got C, O, and here comes the big one. So this is the letter that most children, if not using kinetic letters, will write like that, because they haven't got the visual perception yet to be able to see what we're doing when we write an A. So if I was to say to a child, that's how you do an A, the child would write that because they can't follow my visual demonstration. However, if we say, pull around, push along the ground, up back to the scared monkey's branch, down bump, flick, all of a sudden they start making A's. So that's a really important, if you want to really practice one at home, that's a really good one, especially for those who have A in their name and are already writing it like that. So another really important letter that children mix up all the time, and we've been talking about that in reception this week, is D, D. Pull around, push along the ground, up to the brave monkey's branch this time, down bump, flick. So you'll notice these two letters are formed using exactly the same movements, except for D goes all the way to the brave monkey's branch, whereas A goes back to the scared monkey's branch. So that's the only difference between D and A. And when it comes to the difference, because we've already done B in the jumper family, sorry, B is from the brave monkey's branch, down bump, back up, push over, pull along the ground. D, pull around, along the ground, up to the brave monkey's branch, down bump, flick. So they're formed in different ways, and we talk about that in their reading books as well. And actually yesterday I showed some of the children how you can make a little bed with a B and a D. However, I would stick to getting them right using the formation and where they start. That really does work, and it does take some time, but they do get there. G, again, starts with the curly K, up to the scared monkey's branch, down, on down, pull around. Now making sure they're sitting that G on the line is a really good habit to get into. We don't want to see any of that, okay? Going underneath the line. Q. Now Q is a tricky one in terms of teaching the letter formation because it's a phase 3 sound which we won't do until after Christmas, and when we teach it as a sound we teach it as a digraph. So we teach the qu, like quack or queen. So that's the digraph we teach, but actually to write it, that's just a Q on its own. And the Q is the letter name, qu is the letter sound, where it's always with the U. So that's where our phonics and our kinetic letters really need to match together. So pull around, push along the ground, up to the scared monkeys branch, down, flick. Now they will mix the G and the Q at first. I wouldn't worry too much about the Q before Christmas because we haven't done it in phonics and they won't see it in their reading books because their reading books match their phonic sounds. So don't worry too much about that one. We will practice it, but we won't focus on it. We'll probably revisit it after Christmas. And then we've got this really tricky. You need really strong and fine motor skills for this one because you pull around and push, but that's such a small, precise movement, and then pull around and push around, and pull along the ground. So that one, pull and push and pull back again. That's really tricky because you're getting quite a lot of movement into a very small space. And if you think about the boards that we ask the children to write on, you see that, I think, that is a very small space. Okay, first of all, wait a minute. How many letters are in the Abracadabra family?
7.
Good boy. What's the first letter in the Abracadabra family? Yeah, we need to know that one to make all the others.
Yeah.
Where does that one start?
Scared monkey.
Good boy, show me. Beautiful. Lovely, 3 by the tree. Good boy. Okay. So if we can do a curly k, we can do a. Show me a nice a. Beautiful. It's a really good flick as well, Seb. It's not too big. Okay, what about o? It's quite a big line across. Can you remember why we do that line across?
For our joined up letters.
For our joined up letters, when we do joined up. Hopefully in year 2 you'll be doing joining up.
Yep.
Now, this is the letter that lots of people get mixed up.
It's da.
Yeah, because they think it starts at the brave monkey's branch, but it doesn't, does it?
Nope.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Sebby. Okay, what should we do next? You choose the next one.
G.
G, G. Lovely. G goes underneath the line. Which family is G also in?
Abra and Fisher.
Abra and Fisher. Good boy, because it goes underneath the line.
What is the same thing?
Quite, it's kind of the same, isn't it? But it has that flick at the bottom.
So
now, the last one is the most tricky, but it's also at the beginning of your name. You're right.
Where should I write it?
Wait, which one to write it? Tell you what, can you rub out your curly curs and can you show me on that tree, please? Thank you. Because then we can see the size of the
There you go.
That's it. Now that one's a tricky one, isn't it? So we have to keep it nice and small. Well done. Super. Thank you very much.